Do me a favor, sit down in your oversized chair, lean back, grab those Cheetos with your Cheeto-stained fingers, and drink your Mountain Dew, because it's time for another episode of Fat News. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. There is a playlist I'll link down below of other episodes that you might have missed. I think you'll be glad you did. Let's be honest. It's not like you're going to be exercising or anything. Recently, Taylor Swift dropped a new album for all of the gay men and anorexic teens that listen to her music. And in a music video for her song Anti-Hero, it featured a scene in which she stands on a scale and the scale simply exclaims that she is fat. If Taylor Swift is fat, that makes me and you the size of a planet. But that's not what the song was about anyway. When you look at the lyrics of the song, I think it's pretty clear that this song is about self-sabotage. And calling yourself fat when you're not fat is definitely a form of self-sabotage. But that context did not stop the usual morbidly obese crowd over on Twitter complaining about it. And I don't even understand how you do that. How do you type on your phone with your fat, greasy fingers? Good Lord, I have to use voice to text.
As an actual fat person, genuinely, how are we supposed to feel seeing this? Watching a thin person remind the whole world that one of their biggest fears is being fat. Is looking like me. Demonizing the word fat while never having the experience of living in a fat body? FatPhobic.
All right, I've done the calculations, and I'm trying to determine whether or not this is fatphobic, and my research says hell no. What Big Bertha has failed to realize here is that this is not demonizing being fat. It's talking about self-sabotaging because you have an eating disorder, the opposite eating disorder that me and Bertha have. And as for demonize being fat, pointing out that people don't like fatness and that fatness is unhealthy, we don't need Taylor Swift to do that for us. You know why? Because the entire medical profession reminds us that it's not healthy. You know what else reminds us? Our lower backs, our knees, our heart, our lungs, our livers. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. If you are standing up in a day and trying to walk, you already had that reminder. Just don't watch the Taylor Swift video if you don't like it, for fuck's sakes. This moment in that song was not about demonizing fat people anyway. It was Taylor Swift talking about her own eating disorder where she just is unable to force herself to eat enough. And I think she has every right to talk about that. Taylor Swift is definitely popular among teenagers, and 13% of adolescents will develop an eating disorder by the time they turn 20. So I feel like this is a really good message for those people. Now, fortunately, this woman does go on to say that she understands that. She just doesn't like the word fat being used in a derogatory context, explicitly sending the message that being fat is a bad thing. But here's the thing. Being fat is a bad thing. And listen, I'm not talking 20, 30 pounds overweight. I'm talking boogie-sized people. I'm talking Bertha-sized people. It is unhealthy, therefore it is bad. In fact, you are sabotaging your own body, which is what this song is about! I actually really like that song unironically. I have listened to it several times at this point. I enjoyed the video as well, and I love hearing it on TikTok because I'm fat and because I can relate to the self-sabotage. And honestly, I think the problem is not Taylor Swift mentioning the word fat or putting it in her video or using it in the negative context. I think it's that a lot of fat people can be really, really sensitive. Since we hate ourselves, we presume everyone hates us. Now, the story does have a happy ending. Of course, Taylor Swift ignored all of this and left her video exactly as it is because she has artistic integrity. She cut that part out of the video? You're kidding. Oh, Taylor Swift! Taylor Swift overreacted here, and I get that she's the kind of sweet, loving person that would love to make people like Bertha and me feel better about ourselves. And I get that. I respect that. But maybe, and just hear me out on this, maybe the problem isn't how people treat fat people. Maybe it isn't the medical profession. Maybe the problem isn't Taylor Swift. Maybe the problem is us. Most fat people I know do not love themselves. They don't love themselves enough to take care of themselves. By definition, you probably don't love yourself if you're morbidly obese. And as a formerly fat person who's still very fat, let me say that when you hate yourself, it's very easy to believe that everyone is out there to get you. including Taylor Swift. When you're morbidly obese, you're making a decision every day to continue to repeat that cycle. And someone that loves themselves would not do that. And Taylor Swift loves us enough to where she took that part of the video out. And I think that's kind of cool, but I think it was completely unnecessary. But that's where we are as a society right now, and I kind of hate it. 1 second of a rock video is enough to trigger somebody on Twitter, and while they're triggered, a lot of other people join the dog pile until someone or something caves in. And I think that's a good thing sometimes, in really extreme circumstances. But 1 second of a music video? Come on, that ain't worth wasting your time on. But that's one fat man's opinion, and I want your fat opinion down in the comments section below. And while you're down there, watch more fat news videos. I think you'll be glad you did. But until next time, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I will speak with you again soon. Damn, fat people are sensitive. I mean, I'm one of them.